Hello, action figure fans. I am back today with another 5 good guys, 5 bad guys. And so it struck me today that I haven't really focused or done a video on X-Men figures. So I'm going to go ahead and do that today. So there are the 5 good guys and 5 bad guys that we're going to look at. Okay, so I do have a Marvel Select today. It's one of my favorite Marvel Selects. I love Colossus. He's my favorite X-Men, by the way. And this is a great in-scale figure. I say in-scale because Colossus should be over 7 feet tall. And so this particular Marvel Selects figure, I think, just fits in perfect with the Marvel Legends because he is such a large figure, as he should be. And the colors are amazing. This is my favorite Colossus costume. When I think of Colossus, I think of that right there. So it's just really, really, really good. I really like this figure a lot. And he really makes a good X-Men display. Thank you, Colossus. Okay, next, here we have Cyclops. This is the old X-Force costume. And I like it a lot. I like the blues on there with the white. Contrasts really well. I like that head sculpt really well. I like that you can see the optic blast, kind of frothing there at the sides, ready to erupt. I believe there's another head that came with this that you can actually snap an optic blast into it. And that's what the optic blast looks like if you want to snap it in to that second head. So this is a good looking Cyclops figure. They've made a lot of Cyclops figures, and I just chose this one amongst the many I have. Maybe I'll get to the other ones later. Okay, Marvel Girl. Now, these colors here, whoa, they just really look great. And that captures her from the early days of the X-Men, Uncanny X-Men comic books. Jean Grey, and early on in her career. And I think that's a really well done figure. It looks just like it should. The colors are great. My only complaint is really the hair color. The hair color is too orange, I believe. I think it should have more of a red look to it. But no biggie. That's a nice looking Marvel Girl. I like that one right there. Okay. Iceman. Pretty much what you'd expect. You're either going to see a kind of a whitish figure, or you're going to see one that's like a translucent blue, and they've made both. I like both. This is just the Iceman that I picked up off my shelf for this video. There are quite a few more I could have chosen. Last year they released a Marvel Selects Iceman, and I thought that one was really well done. Maybe I'll get to that in one of these videos. But this was over there with my X-Men display, and he looks really, really good. Pretty much what you'd expect from an Iceman. Okay, we have ice. We need fire, right? So here we have the hothead from Japan, Sunfire. And that's a really cool costume. Maybe you don't like it. I do. I think it's cool. The thing about this costume, I don't think it's really changed in 40 or 50 years. And they don't really need to. I mean, he's never been that big of a player in the X-Men comic books that I know of. Since he is based in Japan, lives in Japan. But he's made appearances. And that's a good figure. I like it. So who would win, him or the Human Torch? Don't know. Okay, moving on to the bad guys. Now, this is the Shadow King. Now, it is a Kingpin body. It came packaged, a Kingpin figure with this extra head. So that head is the Shadow King. So I slapped that sucker on there. So for all intents and purposes, for me, this is Shadow King. I have a Kingpin figure over there, but this is my Shadow King. And wow, kind of an ugly little face there. He's a telepath on the order of Charles Xavier. I know he gave him a hard time, or he has in the past. Sometimes you think he's dead, but he always seems to pop back around. So, there he is. The Shadow King. I've seen some people do some customizing on that. I'm really not much of a customizer, so I'll just leave it as is. Okay. Avalanche. Now, this is from a toy line back in 2006. They released an X-Men Classics line, and there were about 22, 25 with variants figures in that line, and they're pretty cool. And this is one of the better ones, I thought, from that line, Avalanche. As far as I know, they've only released 2 Avalanche figures, and I think this is the better of the 2, even though they released one last year, and this is from 2006. I think this one's better. And the reason why is his face. I just like the face. You can see his screaming there. You can imagine him going into battle against the X-Men with Freedom Force, tearing up the ground with his earthquake power. And so that's a good one. I like it. Avalanche. Okay, it seems like in most videos I've been finding a figure or two that I say is almost perfect. This is my figure for this time. This is an almost perfect Spiral. This is an amazing figure. The detail, not to mention just the engineering involved in this figure. Getting all the arms on there. You can actually move them all. They all hold a weapon. The face looks amazing. The paint job looks great. This is an amazing figure. Takes up quite a bit of room with all those blades sticking out there. But hey, it looks great. They have made a couple of Spiral figures in the past, but this by far is the best one. If you don't have this, by all means, go get it. It'll look great on your shelves, any kind of display you want to make. It's an amazing figure. There you go, Spiral. Okay, not quite as good as Spiral, but close, is a new Magneto figure. Magneto, I say Magneto, that has just come out this last year. And so this is the 97 X-Men line. It's a throwback to the cartoon back in 97. And I have it on a little flight stand because, you know, Magneto can fly. And the colors are spot on. This looks so good. Just like what you'd expect from a Magneto figure. I think he's still out there in stores right now. But a figure this good is going to get snapped up. People are going to want this. So my advice is buy 2 or 3. 1 for yourself and 2 to sell later on. Make some money on them. If you're into that. That's a great, great figure. I guess the only thing that would probably make this one better is if you had some kind of effects. Looks like little circles. Like you can see he's manipulating the magnetic forces. But no complaints. That's a great figure. All right. The last figure I got is a huge deluxe figure, Mojo. I have never been a big fan of the character Mojo, but a lot of people are. And this is a great figure. This is a great representation of Mojo. They've actually come out with 2 of these Mojo figures recently. One was released in a 4-pack, I believe, and his color was a lot brighter yellow, and he had some spots on him. I have that one, and I got this one to go along with it. I kind of like this one better, the little bit of muted yellow. I think it's more accurate to the comic books. The figures are exactly the same. And I just have to say, it is a really good Mojo figure. I don't really know how you'd make Mojo any better than this one right here. I mean, there is a lot of detail on it. And there he is. Mojo. There's that Mojo face. Okay, guys. So there you go. 10 more random action figures I pulled off my shelves. If you like my videos, please watch some more of them. I appreciate it. Take care.